Alrighty, I think we're live, so sorry if you can hear a weed whacker in the background, but you know, what can you do? I'm here in Omaha at Heartland, I've forgotten the name, Heartland of America Park, there we go, I knew I would get it, which is in Omaha, Nebraska. It is beautiful here, beautiful city. We're actually staying just across the river, Missouri River, in Council Bluffs, Iowa. It's at a casino. We're full-time RVers, if you don't know, and we kind of forgot. We actually, I was completely blindsided by the fact that it is Labor Day weekend, so which is pretty busy time for camping. So yeah, I'm doing 100,000 steps on. And I said, I'm doing it in Omaha. And so we get to Omaha, the Missouri River is flooded, so the state park we had planned on staying at, their campground's closed. There's another campground, it's closed also because of flooding. It's just, it was just one of those things and we drove 30 miles north to see if we could stay there. Those campsites weren't good, so we had to come back down here, and we stayed in the Walmart parking lot last night, but we were able to get a spot over at there's a casino, Horseshoe Casino. They have a little RV area, so not the way we planned it, but it's all good. Wave River, yeah, it is gorgeous here. Thanks for joining us. It is just a beautiful city. Sorry if that's too loud in the background. You guys let me know. And I'm gonna hang out with you guys for a little bit before I start answering questions. I don't want anybody to miss the stuff when they actually, get here. At 3 more minutes, we'll just sit here and chat about stuff. Birdie, yeah, it is beautiful here. Oh, Mr. BB, is it hot up there? It's actually, when we got here last night, it was below 60 degrees, which I know. I mean, we're used to Florida weather, and I know that that's not cold for some of you out there, but it was, we drug out all the winter clothes. It's like parenting fail, okay, because in the RV, we had planned on Saturday, we're heading, more northward, so we need those long sleeve clothes and stuff to come out, make sure everybody's got everything. And we totally didn't do that on Saturday for whatever reason. And then, so we get here last night, the kids were hungry. We're all ready to eat. I hadn't eaten all day, as always. And so it was 7:30, I think, maybe later than that. And we had to lift up the bed, get the clothes out from under the bed, get everybody dressed. Oh man, it was crazy. Okay. But we're all good now. So the Walmart was gracious enough to host us in their parking lot. So let's see. Joanne, yeah, it's just so beautiful. Yeah, this park is amazing. It's like a mile-long loop, this is where I'm planning on doing the bulk of my 100,000 steps on Friday. So, and thank you guys for anybody out there who has donated. I know several of you out there have, and I really, from the bottom of my heart, appreciate it so much. Those kids are going to get there well, and I'm very excited. So, oh, Linda from Greece, I'm happy to see you. You always show up. I think you missed, there's maybe one that you caught the last end of, I can't remember, but thank you for always showing up. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, are we to start time yet? We got 1 more minute. From Copenhagen, Sparky, that is awesome. Let's see, Christina, you were asking about, is my family planning on permanently staying in one spot after you're traveling, and if so, where? Currently, our plans are not yet to do anything on that. It's very much a wait and see, kind of fly by the seat of our pants kind of thing. We told ourselves at the beginning of this full-timing RV thing to give it 6 months and see if we didn't want to get out there and hate it, but then not give enough time. We said 6 months, but as soon as we got out there, we're we love it. We never want to stop. So I don't know, we'll see. So far we've been at it for 4 months and we love it. I don't see any end in sight. The kids are loving it. Sometimes our 6-year-old's a little moody, but he really loves it too. So, and there's so much we want to see and show our kids, and just seeing all of America and we love to see the world too, but just America is amazing and beautiful. We were driving through Missouri yesterday, and just the vistas, like we would come up on the top of this hill and there's just beautiful farms. There's so much beauty, just all over the world. So, hey Pam from Washington. Okay, all right. So now, yeah, Stephanie, my parents took us out west when I was a kid, and at the time I didn't appreciate it. Like it just kind of flew over the top of my head. But looking back, I do appreciate it now, and it really opened up, I think, my horizons. I've been to Italy, I've been to a couple of different European countries, and it's amazing. I love to travel. So, thank you so much, San, for donating. I really appreciate it. Those of you who don't know, I'm trying to raise $10,000 for Kinship United, specifically for a well in Jello, Uganda. They take care of orphans and widows there, and they're trying to dig a well. Those kids right now, they're having to walk 6 miles every day for clean water, and they need a well, and they need 2 rainwater collection barrels. That's going to take $10,000, and we're over 14% of the way there. I don't know right at 14% of the way there. So if anybody can donate like $5, I would love that. Your help is just crucial. Okay, now let's get into some questions. All right, first one, Crafty Crafter says, I will be late to the party. Oh, but you're shooting for OMAD today. I'm contending with a mild headache though. Consume potassium and sodium and lots of water and some painkillers. Okay, well, I hope that helped you. I won't say never, because I'm sure there have been times where I've experienced headaches, and I can always look back and say, I didn't eat enough at my meal or during my window. I'd try to one thing that always helped me was to eat right before my window closed. So if it was closing at 8, I usually ate right before 8. Back when I had like a more of a window type thing. That always helped me to stave off the headaches. But yeah, if I get a headache, I'll take Tylenol. That was something in the early days, but nowadays it doesn't happen unless I don't have my coffee on schedule, because I'm very sensitive to the coffee thing. Let's see. Okay, so Christina, you asked, you're from Utah. Yeah, I remember you. Thank you. You're so sweet. Do I ever experience low blood sugar? Okay. I've never, on this journey, tracked my blood sugar. When I was pregnant with my 3rd child, my fasting blood sugar, they make you take that test, and I was sick the night before. I don't know. The point is, I had my fasting blood sugar at that point, and I was overweight at that time too, was 90. So that failed me automatically for the glucose. My numbers post glucose drink they were fine, but it was the fasting number. I missed it by 1 or something at that time, those guidelines. So I did have to track my blood sugar for, the rest of the pregnancy, which I can't remember now when they test you and all that stuff. So it was probably for a few months. It's been 6 years ago. So, but my numbers were always great. I never experienced low blood sugar or high blood sugar either. I think the highest I ever recorded was I had a big supersized, I know, bad, supersized McDonald's with a Coke and stuff. And I think it was 125, which freaked me out. But I think looking now at actual diabetic numbers, that I've seen online, that's nothing. I don't know. I think you're, the closer towards the lower end of the scale you can be, the better. But anyway, the point is, I never had low blood sugar then. I never feel so I haven't tracked it. Okay. I don't know, aside from actually pricking my finger, which I hate doing, not because it's painful, just it's annoying, and I feel like it stresses. Well, at the time, it stressed me out. I was in a constant state of stress with my 3rd child. After that happened, when they were making me do that, they made me do it the rest of my pregnancy, even though my numbers remained fine. I've not done it because I've had such a bad experience that, when I was pregnant, I just have refused to do it in this journey. I've thought about it because I'm just curious. I'm probably getting a little braver on that, that type of thing, testing that kind of stuff. So I might do it. I think I did check the price of blood sugar monitors the other day, just out of curiosity. I was like, nah, how much is this going to set me back if I do some experiments? But so I haven't. So, but Christina, if you want to give me more details, like if you're talking about like actual symptoms or something, maybe I can give you some more information. Okay, about my experiences at least. Okay. Kiwi, or sorry, Linda, you're doing OMAD, or 2MAD, 2 meal, I think you mean 2 meals a day, right? At the moment, visitors from New Zealand and Greeks love to eat. Oh man, don't we all? I wonder if any culture just doesn't love to eat. Like, it is a very, like, it's a bonding experience. It's not just about the food. It's so much more, So yeah, let's see. Linda, did you do OMAD? Do you normally do OMAD? Yeah, because you said at the moment. So I'm thinking you're normally at OMAD. And I wonder, are you feeling better, worse, same? I'm always curious what, how different plans make people feel. Okay. Let's see. San, again, thank you so much for your donation. Okay. Local Kiwi alien. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's 10 p.m. here. Oh, excellent. Oh man, it's so weird that the way the different time zones are. Hi from Wisconsin. Hey, JM Blanken. Darlene, hey. Okay, let's see. Oh, you're walking and watching. I almost walked on this one, and then I realized, like, I've got water, and then trying to, drink water and hold the camera, I just felt like it was going to be too much effort. So, let's see here. Trying to stay very hydrated. I wonder how many steps you have, Crafty Crafter. Oh, San. You made it to the live Q&A. Thank you for joining us. And you're in California. I wonder what part of California you're from. You might have told me this already. We lived in Oceanside back in 2014 for a couple years while 3 years when my husband was in the Marine Corps. Maybe we've talked about that before. I can't remember. Let's see. Lucy from St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. Hello. I'm trying to do Me Too diet. Have you done it before? I don't know if you mean OMAD. Maybe that's what you mean, Lucy. I'm going to assume that there's a typo there. I don't know. Why don't you tell me, like, rephrase your question? I don't know if you're asking about OMAD. I think maybe there's a typo in there. Okay. Green Eye Bandit. Oh, hey. Oh, Nat. Okay. Oh, good. Hey, I was wondering about whether you ended up creating your channel or not the other day, because I remember you had asked several weeks ago, and I just wondered. So I wonder, how has your weight loss been going? Let's see. Okay. Oh, you like how flexible I am? You want to adopt that? Yeah. I tell you, being flexible, learning how to be flexible, but not too loosey-goosey. I mean, it's like a kind of a fine line, you don't want to have too many off-plan days, but just allowing myself to really take my time with it and really just say, it's going to take a while, but it's no big deal if I need to have, this one day be an off day because family is visiting, or, or whatever the thing is, makes for good long-term success, I think. Let's see, Crafty. I ate well yesterday, though. I had a headache yesterday, too. Okay, it might be a sinus thing, don't know. Yeah, I mean, of course, if you have medical concerns, always talk to your doctor. And, if I ever had headaches, I always lengthened my window out until I could say, okay, I'm really adjusted to this. Now I can push it out. I mean, I pushed mine out very, 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 very gradually. And I think my body just adapted to the fasting. I don't know, though. I never wanted to feel bad on the plan, though. I just wanted to feel good. So that's always my first top priority, is to feel really good, because I know I can keep going, even if that slows down the results. Because usually there is like a compromise there. Like, if you want it to be easier, the progress will be slower. I was okay with slow progress. I was good with easy and slow progress. Just because I knew I could keep that up over the long haul. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, San, you do exactly what I'm doing. That's cool. I love that you've lost 8 pounds doing this. Okay. Wave Ripper. Anyone have results? Uh, yeah. I'm sure Wave Ripper. If hopefully people are going to comment on here, and if not, you can also check back through comments. Although I don't know if there's an easy way for you guys to go through the comments, but lots of people have had really good results on OMAD. It's hard for me to know because I don't do coaching on here or anything. I don't have clients or anything. But anyway, the point is, it's hard for me to know who is doing which plan. But I can tell you, I've had a lot of people on here specifically talking about OMAD. Lots of people have talked about, they're doing OMAD, eating whatever they want, not doing low carb. Some people are doing, low carb or keto or vegan. And OMAD. I mean, there's like a million different combinations that people are doing and having good results. So, let's see. Green-eyed bandit. Only difficulty is holding off eating all day, but it does work. Yeah. It is like if you can learn how to do that. And I think it just takes practice. I think it's like anything. It's just a skill that you learn over time, how to just fast. And it becomes less and less of a big deal. It becomes less and less effort, really, as your body just adapts to it. I went so slowly with it. I took months and months and months. Some people just go from eating, 3-5 times a day to once a day. My hat is off to you if that is what you did, because I'm not that person. Okay. Hey, Cheryl, I'm so glad you made it. Okay, San noticed a slight headache. Otherwise feeling very good. Thank you for your video and spreadsheet about the 7-day averaging that helped you develop patience. Yeah, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I was wondering if people would enjoy the tutorial. But I think people like data, like it's good to kind of nerd out over numbers sometimes. I found it to be very, very helpful to keep me on a more even keel, to really look at the long view, because especially when if you're in a plateau, or if you've had some off days, or it's kind of like it just kind of gets you back on track, and it says, okay, I can do this, and it's really motivating to look back. I mean, because now I can look back at my spreadsheet, and it's been 3 years ago, right? Yeah, almost. We're coming up on 4 years ago that I started tracking 2015. So February of 2015 is when I started doing that in the spreadsheet. And so it is super motivating to be like, oh wow, look how long it took me to get below 200, and just seeing that journey. I love being able to look back and see that. So stick with it, and it can be very, very, if you just I do mine like every Friday. I put in my numbers, unless I'm having like a rough week. Like if my numbers have been, up for whatever reason, water weight or whatever, just to like be like, okay, the 7-day average is fine, because I still struggle with stuff like that. Let's see. But patience, learning how to be patient and stubborn is the key, I think. Kim, yes, do I walk fasted? Okay, so it kind of depends on what your definition of fasted would be. Generally, lately, my pattern has been I eat around 6:30 p.m. And that one meal, that's it. And then, I'll wake up normally around 5 and get my steps in. That is not the case today. Today was kind of a weird day, so I'll be getting mine in later on, probably before we eat. And in that case, I'll be much more fasted. Because fasted, when you say that, it's kind of hard to define. I mean, I've looked this up, and if anybody has any kind of better info, or you can be more concise with it, please post it in the chat. So it's more like a spectrum, okay? It's not like, you eat a bite of cucumber and then you're not fasted anymore. Like, your body has certain kind of hormonal things that happen, is my understanding of it. So you're like more fasted, or you're less fasted, or you're in a let's call it, fasted and fed. It's like a spectrum. It's very hard to know at that moment. So at that point, I've been fasting for say 12 hours, 11 hours. So in the beginning, I did notice that it seemed, sometimes what would happen in the earlier days, because I was still having trouble being, consistent on getting my steps in earlier in the day, I would I would eat supper, then walk, and then walk again before supper the next day. So that's like 12 miles of walking in between the meals. That I found to be a little bit more difficult when I was still getting used to, OMAD and everything. So, but so basically, I don't really do it on purpose. If I ever do it, I just don't care. Like, all I care is that I got my 14,000 steps in. Okay, 93 movement. Walking 6 miles a day in the winter will become difficult. Snow, lots of snow. What would be the equivalent alternative indoors at home exercise to acquiring 6 miles a day without equipment? Well, actually, for the first several years that I did this, or a couple of years that I did this, I did house walking. That's how I always got my steps. I walked inside my house, doing laps. And most of the time I was doing laps inside my master bedroom, just going around from one side of the bed to the other, just like from the head of the bed down, over, and back up. And I got my 6 miles in my house. I mean, or I would just walk through the house, or, whatever. It was my way to excuse-proof my workout, because I knew I can't blame the weather. I can't, that was just my thing, because I knew myself well enough to know I was making excuses like, oh, well, I waited too late. Now it's too late. The neighbors are going to think it's weird if I'm out here walking 6 miles at 10 o'clock at night. So I would not get my steps in. Or, I would, it'd be too windy or rain. All these things became excuses. But when I said, I wonder if I can get them inside, and I did, I was like, so I have no excuse. So that's what I did. So, some people get dizzy though. Like my husband, he can't really do the house walking. Well, actually, he got used to it. He was kind of dizzy at first, but he realized he could do it. So he's done that before. So that's what I've done. But, certainly, like, you can do whatever you want, or and you can do any plan you want. And one thing I enjoy doing, I haven't done it in a really long time, though, because we're RVing now, so that doesn't work, is Zumba, like the Wii Zumba thing, like dance around, getting steps that way. I found that to be very enjoyable, and I counted that as steps, like my Fitbit thing. So, let's see here. Let's see. Oh, so you've already got 15,395. Crafty crafter, man. I've only got, how many do I have? 4,000 right now, 4,026. I watched your video about rewards, so I'm saving up for a new iPad. Ooh, that's awesome. That's a big, that's a big reward. So that's awesome. I wonder, is it like is it a weight goal you're doing, or is it like a step goal, or, oh, did I say 2014 that we were in Oceanside? Man, sorry about that. Okay, let's see. We went on a crazy vacation, London, Paris, Venice, and Germany. Gained about 10 pounds, but I'm excited to get back on plan. Hey, you're gonna get on a plan, and you'll be fine. 10 pounds, and you had an amazing vacation, so sounds like you enjoyed it. Sparky asked, has constipation been an issue doing OMAD? No, it has not. Now, I will say, and this is maybe too much information, but I don't find that I poop as much as I used to, okay? It makes sense. I'm not eating as much as I used to. So, but as far as constipation, no. Coffee may help with that, because I drink coffee 3 times a day. So, and I do always try to make sure I'm drinking enough. Like I've said before, I don't have a water goal. I do have a water bottle right now, though. But I just try to drink when I'm thirsty, so so that's my understanding, is if if you drink plenty of fluids and getting fiber, eating your vegetables, all that stuff. So yeah, hopefully not too much information. Hopefully that helps. Cade, I eat at breakfast time and feel more able to maintain long term because I don't get hungry until close to bedtime. I'm also doing 10,000 steps. No cheat days for me yet. It's going slowly, but I feel strong and I love that. That's awesome, Cade. I've never tried what you're doing before, which is a breakfast as your one meal, and I think that's great though. If that's what works for your day, I think that's great. Like whatever is the most convenient for you, the easiest thing, right? The thing about me for supper was I wanted to be able to have that time with my family where we sit down and have supper together, and also I'm the type of person like trying to go to bed on an empty stomach. I cannot sleep, or I'm sure I could eventually go to sleep, but it's one of those things. I can sleep much better if my belly's full. And hey, slow and steady wins the race too, Cade. So I'm all about slow, steady, sustainable progress. And I'm glad you're feeling strong too. Let's see. Oh, and you, Crafty Crafter, you did OMAD for weeks. Good, cool. Okay, there we go. Okay, Lucy, thank you for retyping your question. Okay, I was asking, have you ever done the keto diet? I'm thinking about trying that with your intermittent fasting. I've never done keto. Okay, I have an understanding of keto as far as low, very, very low carbs. I think my dad's doing it, and my brother and my brother-in-law, they're all doing keto right now, and a couple of them are mixing in intermittent fasting, and they've had some really good results. I haven't done keto because I know personally I will not be able to do keto for the rest of my life. Like, I love bread and pizza and, cake and cookies and rice and all that high carb stuff. I love that stuff. I mean, I can cut it out. I know that I can sit there and just power through and cut it out of my life. But when I started this journey in 2016, I was really ready for it to be a permanent change for me. And for me, I knew I wouldn't stick to that. I know that there are people out there that do. They go to keto and they never go back. That was just not me. So that's why I haven't tried it. I've been very tempted at times to try it. Like, if I was stuck at a plateau, I would think, ooh, if I would just do keto for a while, probably that would drop the pounds. But I just never did it. I said, I'm going to stick with this plan because it's stuff that I'm going to actually go back to eating. That was my thing. I would always just go back to how I used to eat. So I said, okay, I just got to figure out, how to keep this stuff in my life, and eventually, try to tweak my eating so that I get more vegetables and all that stuff, more fish, more, all the healthy stuff. But I'm also trying to be really realistic and honest with myself too. But if you do, Lucy, do intermittent fasting and keto, please let us know your results if you feel comfortable sharing. Okay, Linda, you're an OMAD usually. Yeah, you feel fitter, no stressing over calories and carbs. Husband's slowly getting used to my not eating in the evening. Mostly eat about one. You've lost 12 kilos. That's awesome. 25 pounds. That's amazing. That's awesome. Congratulations. Pat yourself on the back. That's fantastic. And yeah, I feel really good on OMAD too. Yeah, just not having to worry about stuff, not having to think about stuff. Okay, Reshma, you asked, did you have any knee pain issues when you walked initially, when you were overweight? And if you did, how did you manage? Okay. So, I have always had problems with my knees. Like, that was traditionally, when I was 222 pounds, I was, for a while there, trying to jog 3 miles every day. And I had lots of knee pain. I had plantar fasciitis, or I think that's what it's called. Anyway, like, my foot would hurt really, really bad, too. But when I injured my back doing a deadlift, and at that point I knew I needed to figure out some sort of exercise that I could do. At that time, jogging hurt too bad, but walking was okay. And since then, since I've been walking 6 miles every day, I really haven't had any knee pain. It's weird. Like, I don't know why, but I haven't. So yeah, but I can tell you what I did, when I was 222 pounds and I did have knee pain, and it wasn't from the walking. It was from jogging, but how I managed that was I still went out there and did it, and, I said, I've got to get the weight off. See, that was the thing, when I lost 80 pounds, now I don't have those issues. Now, I haven't gone and jogged, and that would really be a test just to really see. But when I used to be overweight, my back hurt all the time. Just, a constant backache. And it's just from carrying around that weight, I think, because it went away. Okay, so hopefully that helps, Reshma. Pain is no fun. But, and certainly if you, if you have a issue with your knees, and you maybe could talk to your doctor about it. But yeah, losing weight seems to have really helped. Okay, 2MAD really helped my insulin resistance. I don't know that I'll go to 1 meal a day, but it's a very short eating window, and it did wonders. Yeah, that is great. And I'm all about whatever works, whatever's easiest. Like, to me, OMAD was easier, even though it meant a shorter window, just because then I didn't have to think about windows anymore, really. I mean, it was just like, we're sitting down to eat, and that's all I had to think about. Yeah, so it was about simplification of my life, basically. But I'm glad that's working for you, Stephanie. Hey, Robetter from Canada. Oh, I'm glad you enjoy it. Sandy, oh, from Pensacola. Oh, you like my videos? Well, thank you so much. Pensacola. We did not get to visit when we were down in Florida. I wish we would have now, but we'll get back there, I'm sure. Hi, Ariana. For your OMAD, do you have a 1 to 2 hour window, or literally only eat whatever is on your plate for the one meal and sit down? Right. So that's how I do it, day in and day out. Now, that's not to say that occasionally there might not be, like, let's say a situation where my son says, hey, I'm going to make cookies for dessert, and like if the cookies aren't ready yet, I will wait and kind of lengthen that window out. That's an edge case though. That doesn't happen very often. But yes, so what I do is I sit down to supper, I sit there and I eat. We have family dinner, we sit there, we talk, we laugh, when we all, and so it's not a rushed thing. It takes however long it takes. I don't time it. And then when we're done and I'm full, I will stand up from the table and I start fasting again. So it has nothing to do with like, oh, well, we started eating at 6:30 and now I'm going to eat till 7:30. No, it's just, I sit there and eat. So there we go. Crafty Crafter says magnesium citrate helps with constipation. In a big way it does. Learned that the hard way. Okay, Cheryl Klein, glad to be here. Just looked at notifications and saw you're on. Oh, yay! Sonia, good afternoon. Going on 2 months OMAD, down 22 pounds. Awesome. That is awesome. Anybody that's considering, I say if it's something you want to try, go for it. Take it easy on yourself. Do the easy version, and then see what your results are. Crafty Crafter, fasting has helped you be more in tune with your satiation. Me too. Like that was a hard one for me to get. And occasionally, I'll like overdo it at a meal. That's really rare now, but yeah, really learning like, oh, I'm starting to feel full now. Oh, I am full now, so let's stop eating. And then I do. It's like magic. Okay, Sparky. Let's see. Beverly, you say, I have not lost any weight for a month. Do I need to do $1,200 a day? Or sorry, 1,200 calories a day? They say I should not go any lower. Okay, so Beverly, I don't count calories, okay? So I just sit down at my one meal and I eat until I'm full, good and full, and I feel really good afterwards, and I've had results. Now, so I don't think you should cut calories. I mean, well, I say do whatever you want to do, okay? But I'm more of the opinion, just try it. And I don't know, where you're at currently, like how much weight do you really need to lose? What's your BMI? Do you need to really lose any weight? I think I feel better when I eat more calories, okay? Like as far as just eating enough, I don't feel good. I mean, I don't count, so, but like the other day, last night we had Taco John's. I know, don't judge me. Their food is awesome. But I had like the super potato Lays and also some more potato Lays I kind of picked from the other kids' stuff. And I know the potato Lays were definitely, or the main course was definitely over 1,000. I think it was close to 1,100. And then I ate a bunch more stuff, and that was actually probably a lot fewer calories than I would normally eat, I think. But anyway, but as far as just the question of how long should you be stuck before you change something, I'm the type of person that's going to say, be really consistent with your plan, whatever your plan is, for 2 months. And if at the end of 2 months, if you've been weighing every single day and you're looking at your 7-day average and the scale has not moved at all in the direction you're wanting it to go, then maybe make a tiny tweak to your plan. But that's me. You're having trouble typing today, Cheryl? I was a mess earlier. I was trying to talk and nothing was coming out right. Let's see. Best regime for walking fast is eat late in the day and in the morning go for your walk, then eat again late in the day. That's what you do. Yeah, oh, I'm glad that works for you. Yeah, that's, certainly the closer you walk to your fasted or your meal probably makes it easier. I'd say, experiment, see what see what works for you. Let's see, I'm gonna have to go. Good luck. Oh, all right, Crafty. Man, you're ahead of us all today, probably. Okay, San, I used to get bummed when the scale went up. Like yesterday, almost 2 pounds. Ugh, I know, right? Today, back down to what was on Monday. It continues to trend downward. Finally out of the 180s, which took forever. Oh man, it's so hard when you're right on the cusp of something, and it's just like it magnifies it, I think, too. Like when you know, like you're paying so much attention to, like, oh, it's right there, it just go down, and it just won't go down sometimes, but it will eventually. So I'm glad that happened for you, San. Yeah, so Stephanie, you do a lot of house walking in the summer. Yeah, that's another thing. It's like if it's too hot outside, it's nice and cool inside. We were just talking about that the other day because it's nice and cool with AC. But if you're outside walking, because now we just walk outside and you don't have that comfort. So Jay was talking about how he missed walking inside sometimes. Okay, let's see. Oh yeah, listening to podcasts, playing games on. Yeah, I'll get on social media and stuff. Makes the time fly. Sandy, do you include your everyday steps, or was it an extra 6 miles? No, it was everyday steps. So my one rule was the Fitbit has to say 14,000 steps by the end of the day. That can be, all my daily steps, like. Because sometimes, just throughout the day, you'll get several thousand, or at least I will occasionally. Sometimes I'll get very, very few. It depends on if I'm working at the computer all day or not. But, yeah, that's how I always did it. Just, I don't care. I mean, I would break it up throughout the day. If that's all I could muster, is just like, okay, I'm going to get up and walk for 15 minutes. I would do that, It was all about just getting those 14,000 steps in for me. Let's see. Seashides, aren't there some walking exercise videos? Some fitness lady has some where you basically walk in place and do other stuff. Yeah, I think Leslie sent. Yeah, somebody got that. Leslie Sansone. Hers is like, man, I don't know if I could keep up with them, but some people have done those and really loved them. So, let's see. Shives. So a glass of wine helps with constipation. That's the kind of cure I can get behind. Lucy, have you shared your Fitbit username? Do your followers share their Fitbit username? Okay, so I do share my link. If you look in the description, you'll see my Fitbit, Be My Friend on Fitbit, and there's a link there. Make sure you're logged into Fitbit before you click on the link, because that's where some people get lost, because if you click on the link, then it'll say log in, and then I think if you have to log in, then it doesn't take you to my page, it just takes you to your dashboard. So just click on that link and it should take you to a thing. You'll see my profile picture and it says add friend. Do that and we'll be friends. People, I haven't ever asked that, for people, my subscribers, to put their Fitbit username somewhere. That actually might be a good idea. If you guys like that idea, let me know, and I'll see if maybe we can put that. We have a forum right now on 6milestosupper.com/community, and so that might be a good place for people to go and post their usernames if you feel comfortable sharing that information, because there's a board specifically about walking. Okay, so Leanne, you're down 29 pounds. Congratulations! Oh, that's great. You feel so much better and confident. It is a thing, okay? I love it. I feel tons more confident than I ever did when I was overweight. I know, there are some women out there, and men too, but I think probably women struggle with it. Well, I won't say they struggle with it more. I think men maybe just keep it inside better. But just lack of confidence. I didn't want to talk to anybody, business type, things. I was really nervous and I always felt just not confident. And now I feel tons more confident. So, trying to do this fundraiser is it's not something I would have ever had the confidence to try to even attempt before. And now I'm well, I can try. I'm less afraid of failure, I guess. But, okay, so I'm not down quite to OMAD. Dion, sorry. I'm not quite down to OMAD, but I am down to 24, and you've lost 20 pounds. Awesome! Okay, and you've walked 4 miles a day. That is awesome. That is congratulations, Dion. That is great. And walking 4 miles a day, I bet you feel great. Okay, Beverly, you weigh 115. Let's see. Your BMI is 21. I just want to lose 2 more pounds. people at the YMCA, I need to tone up. Okay, you're 5'1". Okay, so 5'1". I was going to say 115 sounds really, 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 really light. And that, to me, that's still, so BMI 21. You're at a really good BMI, aren't you then? I don't have one right in front of me, but I'm thinking once you get below 24.9, isn't that where you get into the normal range? So, I mean, you know, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your, but I mean, maybe, so look at your range on the BMI and see, like, aren't you there? I would think you're there, but let me know. Okay, that said, you get at least 10,000 steps at work. What do you do, that said? I'm curious, if you don't mind sharing, because that's a lot of steps to get at work every day. Beverly, you're doing 24, and you're, okay, so, and then that, you're doing a 23.1. Okay, let's see. Lucy, okay, good. You'll let me know how the keto diet goes with OMAD, or with intermittent fasting. I don't know which, can't remember. I think you were talking about OMAD specifically. And you're going to be my friend on Fitbit. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Anybody who wants to be my friend on Fitbit, I know a lot of you are already. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun to see how you guys get in steps. Let's see. Trudy, did you measure your gait to determine 14,000 steps is 6 miles? Yes, a long, long time ago when I first got my Fitbit, they have instructions on how to calibrate it. Although I believe, and Jay can correct me if I'm wrong, he's the one doing the comments thing. What you do is, so what I'm saying is, I'm pretty sure he did not calibrate his, calibrator or whatever, and I think 14,000 steps for him is also 6 miles. So I don't really know how much it really changes, but I mean, imagine it would depend, like maybe that's how they automatically kind of calculate it, is based on our height, which is 5'6". But let's see. So that's how I did mine. All right, and then Beverly, you said okay, he will. Yeah, and just let me know how that goes for you. Hopefully, if you're at a normal weight, to me it's like all about what do you feel comfortable at, and but I want to share this. When I was in college, okay, I was at a really good weight. Like, I was about where I'm at right now. I was probably I was pretty much where I'm at right now. And I remember looking at pictures of myself and thinking, all I could do was criticize myself at that time, and that has been a warning to me, like a what do you call that? Like a cautionary tale to me that I've tried to remember about myself, that I tend to, when I look at pictures, be overly critical of myself, like focus on the negative. I've always had like a belly, right? And even when I was at a good weight. And so my point is, what I've tried to do now is to say, don't be dissatisfied, always. You got to come to a point where you say, I'm good. And I'm at a point right now where I'm like, I'm good. If I never lose another ounce, I'm okay with that. It's just at this point, I'm doing a thing that I feel really good on, this eating plan and the movement. So wherever it takes me, I'm good with that. So hopefully that helps you. My point is, try very hard to, find the good in the pictures and stuff like that. Okay. Ing Marie Hedberg Kikuchi. I think, I hope I did not mispronounce your name, but you are from Sweden. So cool. Thank you for joining us. I'm going to go to Sweden one day. Melissa, working towards OMAD, just broke my fast and it felt great all day. That's awesome. I found, just being on, just whenever I've intermittent fasted, like OMAD and just intermittent fasting in general, I just feel really good when I'm fasting. I mean, not everybody has that same experience, but I feel really good. Okay, so let's see. Karat, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. You said, how many calories in one day should we take? Okay, so this one, to me, it all depends, okay, really. And some people will even say calories don't matter so much. Like, I don't know. I don't know. All I know is what works for me. But your calorie intake really depends on your body, how much muscle you have, how much fat, what your height is, how, whether you're male, female, what your age is, what your activity level is, what your stress level is. I mean, there's just, well, I don't know about stress levels, but so much can affect how many calories you really need. But ultimately, you got to figure out that balance. Here's what worked for me to say, because my goal was weight loss, okay? I wanted to eat enough so that I felt really, really good. I never wanted to feel hungry or deprived or anything like that while I was fasting. And then also, just having results at the same time. Now, what happened to work for me is just to, when I'm doing OMAD, I can eat whatever I want at my one meal, and I don't count calories. I just eat however much I want that day. And that varies too. So, depending on what time of the month it is, mainly is what affects it, is, how much I eat. Like some days I'm really, really hungry, and other days I'm not very hungry, comparatively speaking. Probably most people are like, you eat a lot even when you're not very hungry. Oh well, So hopefully that helps you correct. To me, I just take a big attitude of experimentation. It's all about experimenting. What works? What doesn't? This worked? This didn't, Okay, Trudy, your before and after pictures really show how well you have done. You're a success to me. Well, thank you, Trudy. Somebody was telling me I should update it, because at that point, like my before and after pictures, I've lost since that time another 12, 15 pounds maybe, I think. So yeah, I probably should update those pictures. And those pictures are horrible, because it was like I was taking a picture of myself, because I did progress pictures every week. So I would take the picture of myself in the mirror, because I didn't want my husband to take my picture, because I thought it was embarrassing. And so I was trying to click it, and it's just, they're very low quality pictures, basically speaking. But okay. But thank you, Trudy. You're so kind. Okay, Reshma, thanks. Hoping that the knee pain would die down once the weight's off, but it's like a cycle to then. Yeah, also just icing it and resting it otherwise. Really take care of yourself. Give yourself some self-care. Ice it down or put a heating pad on it maybe too. And again, if you think there's a medical issue, talk to your doctor too. Okay, hello, Florida neighbors. So daily vlogs with Lisa Ann. Where are right now? I'm in Omaha, Nebraska. I'm wondering, what part of Florida are you? Are you the one in Denellen? I might have mispronounced it. I don't know how to pronounce that city. Okay, Zia, hi from Florida. Well, hi, Zia. I wonder what part of Florida. Oh, you said Florida. Don't know what that means, but welcome to Sweden. Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna go there someday. I tell you, the pictures I have seen of it are just absolutely beautiful. Oh, and Green Eyed Pendant, you're from Florida too. Man, we got a lot of Floridians here. That's crazy. Hey, Crafty Crafter, welcome back. Okay, let's see. You got 18,000 steps, 0 calories in, 20. Hey, that's nice, right? That's pretty motivating, actually. I stopped counting calories a long time ago, 2015. I drove myself crazy. I said, I'm never counting calories again. Never say never, I know that, but I got so tired of it, because my Fitbit would tell me, you've burned this many calories, and then I would try to eat, the deficit, and I would be really, really good about it, or I felt like I was weighing and measuring the food. I felt like I was being as accurate as possible, and that thing, the scale just didn't move, and probably the scale wasn't moving as fast as I wanted to. It probably was moving, but I just couldn't see the results, and it drove me crazy. And I said, forget it. I'm just going on eating until I was full. I mean, that's what I changed to, and I was doing intermittent fasting, and that worked. But okay, so Green Eyed Bandit, what kept you motivated throughout your process? Okay, so I had a lot of whys. Of course, one big thing was I didn't want my kids to struggle with weight the way I did. I mean, I struggled with weight as a kid, and pretty much most of my adult life. I mean, I went through a period from college to right when I got married, and then I started putting on weight when, my husband went to Iraq, and he was deployed, so I gained some weight then, but then I got it off, and then I got pregnant, and then since then it was just, I actually did get the weight off with my first, but then with the second and third, I kept gaining. I'd lose some and then gain it back, and you know how that goes. But so that was one big motivation for me, was to say, I got to quit it. I mean, and kids are so honest. Bless their little hearts. They'll say some of the meanest little things to you accidentally. But like, I remember specifically, we were on a walk, and this was 2014, probably, actually it was probably 2013. And one of my kids like made a remark, like they couldn't, well, let's see, I can't remember if they said they couldn't hug. Well, one time they did make a comment like they couldn't reach their hands around me. But then another time, specifically when we were on that walk, they just made a remark about I had a fat belly or something like that. And man, I know they were little and they didn't know any better, and they weren't trying to be mean. They were just being honest, right? But oh gosh, it was like a knife in my heart. And it took me, still after that, it took me a really long time to come to some sort of like, okay, I gotta figure this out. And that was the Facebook pictures is what changed it. But so that was one big motivation. Another big motivation for me, because I always thought in my head, well, I'm overweight, but it's not keeping me from doing things, right? I thought I'm not that big, right? But then a couple other things started happening, like I went to a movie theater. And I was like, when did they change these movie seats? Like, these cheapskates have like gone down to smaller seats because, like I couldn't fit comfortably in them anymore. And then I, looked around, I'm like, these are the same seats I've always sat in. And I realized like that is not a good sign. And also like being in my car, I was in an Aviator, Lincoln Aviator, and which is like an SUV with like a lot of room. It's not like I was in a little tiny car, and I wasn't fitting well in the driver's seat. Like, just like the seat belt and everything. It was like trying to get something that had fallen down in the crack between the door and the seat, and I was like, whoa, this is a thing. And then I said, well, those aren't so bad. But then I wanted to go ziplining. It was just a thing. I thought, that would be a fun thing to do. And I think because I had read a book like that was talking about you should write down things you want to do in your life. And then I went to look on, because I thought there would be a weight limit. I didn't know my weight at the time. I figured I was around 200. Turns out I was like 222. But I looked at the thing, and it said that there was a thigh circumference restriction. And so I measured my thighs, and my thighs were too big. And that was like a thing. Like, when I think back, that was something that stuck out in my mind. Like, I've got to do something about this. Like, this is not the life I want to live. I want to be able to do the things I want to do, and I've still not gone ziplining, but I will one of these days. But it was like a wake up call. There were lots of little wake up calls. But so that was a why, like a big like thing that kept me motivated. I was like, I'm going to figure this out, and I'm just going to do it. And I'd started to realize, I had become, like, my attitude was, I feel like, not so great, just in general, just not enjoying life like I should. I wanted to feel better, and I wanted to just have it under control. I felt like I was starting to be held back by the weight. And so that was a big motivation to say, I'm going to figure this out. So, okay, that was a long answer. So hopefully that helps. Hey, M. Valentine. Glad you could make it. Let's see. Henrietta, you're late. Have a problem eating enough. With one meal, you're really full really quick. So, okay. Have a problem eating enough with one meal. I'm really full really quick. So Henrietta, I wonder, do you mean that you're experiencing a lot of hunger during your fasting window? Yeah, a lot of hunger during your fasting window, or are you saying like you're experiencing some other negative symptoms? Maybe you can give me some more information, and I'll riff on if you want me to. Okay, Melissa, you're on your last 10 pounds. Oh, okay, so that's awesome. So you don't have very far to go at all. Just be patient with it. I mean, it can start to feel like, oh, I'm never going to get there, but you'll get there. Green-eyed bandit. Oh, you're in Orlando, so that was really close. We were in Tavares, which is about 45 minutes north of there. Orlando's a great town. I love it. Daily vlogs. Yeah, you're in Dunellen. I hope I pronounced it right. And then Trudy, you're in Bradenton. Big storms here. Well, stay safe. I'm hopeful that the weather will stay clear here. Looks like it will. Let's see. That said, you said I eat till I'm full. No need to count calories myself, but I'm also a carnivore. Don't digest plants very well. Okay, yeah. So, yeah, isn't it funny? I think it's neat how different people feel better on different plans. Like some people are like vegan and that they feel fantastic. Like my niece is vegan. Actually, two of my nieces are vegan, and they talk about, man, their energy levels and just feeling good, digestively they're good. And then on the other hand, you got somebody who does really well on meat, like meat and very few vegetables. You know, like I think that's fine. I eat probably everything, so I'm just kind of like a mix. I'm an herbivore, I guess. No, omnivore. There you go. Okay. Let's see. Leanne, you're going to get clothes shopping in another 10. Oh, you're going to get to go clothes shopping in another 10 pounds. That's awesome. Yeah, there's like a couple of things in my closet I need to just throw away because I've had them. They're too big on me and all that stuff. But I'm such a cheapskate. I hate to throw away. I mean, I know I can donate, but some of these clothes are like not even donatable. So, but it's good to get those out and get the good stuff in. Like get the things that actually fit your body. So that's awesome. Congratulations. Let's see, eating Jello. Let's see, Henrietta, you say eating Jello every day for knee pain. The gelatin does help, but you have to eat it every day. It also works for arthritis. Yeah, that's awesome. Also, like, my mom for a while, I don't know if she still does, took chondroitin, I think. Glucosamine? No. Now I'm gonna butcher it. It's been a while, but I think it helped her. Chondroitin, I think that's right. Let's see. But thanks for telling us that, Henrietta. That's helpful. Crafty, you've lost 8 pounds since August 1st. We're still in August, right? Yeah, we're right at the end of August, so that's awesome. Man, 2 pounds a week. That is great. So you do. Okay, I'm going to show my ignorance. CICO. Calories in, calories out? I don't know. I've never heard of that abbreviation, so maybe you can let me know. Trudy, bless your heart. Don't you just love that Southern expression? I do. It's a Southern thing for sure. It's I love using it. Oh man. Okay. Sometimes it can be kind of not very nice, right? We can use it in a way like, oh, bless your heart. But I try not to ever use it in that way. Like if I say bless your heart, I mean really bless your heart. Okay. San, I'm with you, Kayla. No counting calories anymore. Non-fat foods, fad diets. Yeah. Period. Yeah. Yeah. It's something I can do forever. I really can. Okay. Hello from England. SJD says, just wanted to thank you for all your great advice. Oh, thank you. And inspiration. I've lost 22 pounds after failing to lose anything for about 5 years of trying. That is awesome. I am super stoked for you. SJD, if you could talk about like what, or if you don't mind, post in the comments like what exactly your plan was. People are always curious to know. Is that roughly 2 stone? Y'all, okay. I just learned about kilograms. Jay, can you look up what's a stone? Like that's an Australian measurement, I think. Oh wait, somebody's already handled it. Crafty Crafter, 28 pounds is around 2 stone, if I recall correctly. Okay, man, I think that's Australian, right? And that's really tough that you guys have to lose, 14 pounds before you can say you've dropped 1 stone? Or do you also do kilograms? I don't know, but man, that'd be really super hard if it's like, okay, trying to lose 1 stone. Like, I like the pounds. It's like, all right, get down a pound, or part of a pound. Okay. Crafty Crafter, down 28 pounds since May. That is awesome. That is awesome. Let's see. So that's 3 months, and you're down 28 pounds. That's 9 pounds a month. That is fantastic. That's over 2 pounds a week. Congratulations, Crafty Crafter. Okay. KO Him says, hi Kayla, my name's Kayla too. Oh, neat. Just a week just a little over a week of trying to intermittent fast and walking more. Haven't lost any weight yet, but I feel better and taking the stairs in your house. Okay, well that's great. Yeah, and 1 week, I think not long enough to try out a plan. Don't give up. I always say run it as a 6-week experiment. Like, see how you're feeling, see how you keep track of your weight, and if it gets too far out in left field, then maybe tweak it a bit. But sometimes it just takes a while for the thing to get started, and my weight fluctuates. Within a given week, it can go up, like from the highest single day weight to the lowest single day weight. Most months, if you go back and look at my progress reports videos, it's 5 to 6 pounds. So, but overall, the 7-day average goes down and down and down. But it just, again, hormonal fluctuations and stuff like that. It takes time to really start to see a trend. Okay, and congratulations for taking the stairs in your house. It's so. You feel so good, right? I saw a video. I think it was a psychologist talking about that is like the one thing you can do. If you're feeling bad, the one thing that immediately can change your whole physiology and everything is to just get some movement going. Get up, run, walk, just anything, any kind of exercise at all. It can put you in a better mood and a better state of mind, really, right? So, okay. Let's see, Gry, you have really inspired me to do OMAD. You look like a normal woman. So if you can, I think I can too. Well, you know what? That is exactly what I hope people get out of this whole channel is if I can do it, gosh, anybody can do it, okay? I'm just a normal person, and I was able to do it. So I'm so happy that you look at it like that. And I'm just happy. That's awesome. Okay, so Jenna Lynn, sorry. You are such a lovely person. Oh, thanks. Thanks for sharing. It's really moving. Well, I'm glad you find it moving. Okay, Lisa Ann, you asked, I am curious, when I'm in my fasting window and I know I'm hungry, if I had an apple, would I be breaking my fast? Okay, so earlier I talked about how it's, and this is just based on what I've read, some expert on here wants to tear me apart or explain it in more depth. Go for it. But basically, my understanding is fasted versus fed is like a spectrum. It's not a switch, okay? So it's really hard to know because, at what point are you considered fasted? It's really just more of your hormones are kind of in this state, and then at what point are you really going into a more fed state? But it's really more of a spectrum. More fasted, more fed, So, a thing that I've heard is 60 calories, okay? But the warning I've also heard is that when you actually eat something, it's a little different with the calories you drink because your brain, now again, this is my understanding, your brain processes that differently, okay? But if you eat something, you take a bite of, let's say an apple, let's say you eat a whole apple, and let's say that it's a 60 calorie apple, it can actually make you, it starts the process of digestion, which then kind of makes you hungrier, or it can. Now, all that being said, and I've experienced that too, certainly, once I start eating, it kind of starts the process, and it's okay, I just, it's going to be an eating all day thing, on vacation and stuff like that. So, or on cheat day too, that would be an example. But all that being said, I drink probably I can't remember now. I think I drink about 60 calories in my coffee, right? Every time I'm drinking coffee, okay, I'm having that 3 times a day. So it doesn't make me hungrier, but I am consuming those calories. So if the thing is, you get out of a fasted state when you consume that many calories, then that's the thing, right? But then you get into the whole discussion about carbs versus fat and all that. But what I would say is if an apple will get you through the fasting window and it doesn't make you hungrier and it is just the thing that gets you over the hump till your meal, I say do it. I say at least experiment with it. I know most intermittent fasting people are going to be like, no, you can't eat anything. Well, I'm going to say whatever works for people. Whatever works. I hope that answers your question, Lisa Ann. Okay, Julie, afternoon from Iowa. Oh, you're just across the border. I'm in Omaha, Nebraska right now, and we're actually staying in Council Bluffs, Iowa. So, you are, I'm considering this, any advice for starting? Okay, so Julie, here's my advice. First of all, if intermittent fasting is something that kind of appeals to you, that was the thing about it for me, is like, that appeals to me, this idea that I can eat what I want, just have to wait for a certain period of time, I can do that. I'm not good with denying myself different kinds of foods, okay? Like, so a low carb plan, not gonna work for me. I know myself well enough to know that's just not gonna work over the long haul. But time restrictions appealed to me. I took it very, 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 very slowly. Okay, so I started out with whatever felt easiest for me, which for me is like basically sleeping through my fast. Okay, I'd be like, well, okay, 8 hours, I'm not gonna eat. And then I pushed it out slowly. I pushed my breakfast out slower and slower until I got to the point where lunch was my first meal. And then I, continued to push that out slower and slower. And all the meanwhile, I was learning, how to be consistent and having results. Okay, so tracking my weight daily helped, and keeping track of my 7-day average, focusing on consistency and not on fast results is what worked for me. Not beating myself up, learning how to not feel guilty if I screw up, being nicer to myself. That's probably way too much, right? Too many things, but focus on consistency and don't be in a rush. How about that? That's quicker and better. That said, bone broth is excellent for joint pain. Oh, neat. I didn't know that. I know a lot of people really swear by bone broth. Never had it, I don't think. Okay, somebody lost 11 pounds. Let me see who that was. Joanne? Joanne, you lost 11 in 3 weeks. Man, that's awesome. I never lost that fast. I lost 1.16 pounds a week on average. There might have been a week in there that I lost 3 pounds. I don't know. Wasn't very often, though. Okay, oh, hey, that's a fun game to me, is to try to figure out what abbreviations are. My husband and I do that sometimes. Just come up with abbreviations and try to guess it based on context of our sentence. Okay, like YBF means you'll be fine. Okay, Crafty Crafter, I lost 18 pounds in 3 weeks with OMAD and keto before I had to abandon keto, but I'm rolling with IF and counting calories. Awesome, yeah, so I think that's great that you listened and said, okay, Green-eyed bandit, you're so ugly, bless your heart. Sorry, okay. But yeah, listening to your body, Crafty Crafter, and rolling with the punches, and then saying, okay, I'm going to just change this, but now I'm going to do counting calories, and that's working out for you. That is awesome. 6 pounds a week. Good grief. That's crazy. Okay, lots of walking. Okay, Henrietta, I'm never hungry in the fasting time. I want to eat, then I sit down to my meal, and halfway through I just can't eat much. So Henrietta, then what is the issue, I'm wondering? Like, so is it just that you think you should be eating more? Or are you counting calories and you're concerned that the calorie count is too low? I'm just wondering. I've just never had that problem. I love to eat. Like, eating is less important to me now. Like food, I've got a better relationship with it now, but I still love to eat. So I've never had that problem with like, oh dear, I won't be able to finish this. Okay, Green-eyed bandit, 14 pounds equals 1 stone. Okay, Jennifer Bryan, lost 80 pounds years ago, kept it all off all these years. Oh, and then since menopause and caregiving, gained 35 pounds this past year, now doing IF, but not losing, not gaining anymore, but a bit frustrated. Okay, so Jennifer, here's my question to you, if you don't mind answering. The first thing I would ask is, do you know exactly what your plan is? Like, you've got it written down, what your rules are, whatever they are. And are you being super duper consistent with your rules? And are you weighing every day? And are you tracking that number? And then let me know if you want to answer that. If you don't want to answer that, that's okay. Just the reason I ask that is my problem a lot of times when I wasn't having results was I thought I was on a plan, but I didn't really know what my plan was. Like, if he would have asked me, I'd been like, well, I'm trying to eat, higher protein. I'm trying to, have a later breakfast or whatever. And there were just times there where I just wasn't clear. When I got very, very clear and simplified it way down, then I started having results because I could be consistent with that. So, and I really held myself accountable to being consistent. But anyway, okay. Crafty. Some English people also speak Imperial. You guys are like bilingual then. yeah. I love pounds and inches and all that stuff. Okay. In London, they use that plus pounds. So, 1 stone and 12 pounds would be, well, now that's super confusing. Like, but then, okay, so in London, they don't use kilograms. I'm going to show my total ignorance. Okay, Crafty Crafter. Also, your resting heart rate is around 59 from all the exercise. Also, embrace non-scale victories. Yeah, that's important too, right? It's not just about the scale. Like, going for personal best, that was something I did in 2016. I was very consistently getting personal best in walking because I knew, like, I can't control the scale, okay? Even month to month, I can't guarantee that it's gonna, that I'm gonna hit the goals. I'm gonna have goals, but I can't guarantee that. But the steps, I have control over. Like, I can do that. I can earn those badges. I can earn the personal best. Like, my highest personal best was 40,000 steps, which I actually didn't get with my Fitbit. I had to use my phone as a pedometer at that point. But I'm going for 100,000 this Friday, so, and trying to also raise $10,000 for a well in the process. So, $10,000 for a well in Jello, Uganda, for some orphans and widows. Okay. All right. So we'll see. So yeah, and it doesn't even have to be, it can be all other types of goals too. Like, I think that's great. Having victories that you can celebrate, super important. Not just scale. Don't only have scale victories. Celebrate all the victories. Okay, does OMAD, M. Valentine, you asked, does OMAD have an impact on feminine cycles? Hope that's not TMI. I did a whole video about it. It's actually, like, I thought nobody would watch it, and that's one of my more popular videos, which I was so nervous about making that video. But you know what? We're about to talk about it, so boys in here, close your ears if you don't want to hear about it. But I tracked it, okay? I've not noticed any difference. In fact, I would hazard to say my period got more regular as the weight came off. Like, because before I started intermittent fasting, and just when I was overweight, there was just a little bit more irregularity. I mean, nothing out too far in left field, but I tracked it. You can see the, let's see, if you go back through, or if you go on my website and just search in the search bar for or just put period, and it'll come up probably as the first result. Okay. Crafty Crafter, I don't know, keto possibly made my menstrual cycle go haywire, or is perimenopause. Yeah, all the fun things about being a woman, right? So, I never tried keto, so I can't speak to keto. But yeah, intermittent fasting never did that. And, and another thing was, I didn't lose fast, okay? That, I think I've read, well, actually, one thing I read was a lot of times when you're, like, if you actually are starting to miss your period completely, that can be a sign that your body fat percentage is too low. That's one thing I read. But certainly I have noticed, like, in the past, like, especially when I was overweight, if I started exercising really, 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 really hard and really trying to drastically change how I was eating, it would kind of screw up my period a bit. But with intermittent fasting, never found that to be the case. Okay. Hey, glucosamine. Yeah, okay, so that is a thing. I was like, because we were just talking about blood sugar levels before, and I was like, wait, am I getting confused? I drove for 8 hours yesterday, so I'm like, hopefully I'm making sense on here today. Okay, Crafty Crafter, do you ever skip cheat day because you don't feel like doing it? Okay, that's a great question. I have never skipped a cheat day. I'm proud to say. No, there's nothing to be proud of, right? But there have been times where I've thought about not doing cheat day just because it's just, I don't need it. I needed it in the beginning. I wouldn't have to take one. There are other ways I could work it too now, I think. The main reason I took one in the beginning is because we do a pancake breakfast every Sunday. I wanted to be a part of that. Like, I didn't want to have to sit there and, well, mommy can't eat pancakes, like, I wanted to be that example for my kids that you can, function well around food. And you don't have to sit there and not have, pancakes. but I've kept it, and so one thing I could do right now is I could just say, well, that's my one meal, is to have that pancake breakfast at breakfast, and then I just do a longer fast, right? I could do that, but I'm so curious to know how low can I go with this plan, because it's so easy. It feels good. I feel so good on it. I do wonder, like, would I start to feel worse, or would it affect my energy levels if I didn't do the cheat day? Don't know yet. I've never tried it. It'd be an interesting experiment, but again, it's like that would make it, well, I don't know that it'd really make it harder, because I feel really good on intermittent fasting days. And that was another thing. One reason I started them in the beginning, it was like kind of a couple of different reasons. The main one was the Tim Ferriss book. It talked about, like, if you take a cheat day, you're more likely to stick with the plan over the long term. But then the other part of it was I was thinking, like, maybe it would, not hurt my metabolism. Like, if I had that one big eating day, that would like help my metabolism. I kind of think you're fine doing OMAD every day of the week. General Stanley McChrystal does it, and he's fit as a fiddle. Okay, so hopefully that answers that. Okay, Jennifer Bryan, the thing that gets me over the hump is carbonated waters like LaCroix. Oh, love LaCroix. LaCroix, there's so many good ones out there now. Like, it used to just be LaCroix, or at least that's what I saw in the stores, but now there's Bubbly, and there's Perrier, and Clear American at Walmart. I really like it. You have to be careful on that one. It's got to be the unsweetened Clear American. Clear American also makes a zero Clear American, which has aspartame in it. Okay, use generic Neo and put extra iodized salt and potassium in the water and put some ice in it. Grape is my favorite. Crafty, does that have, the Mio, does that have like Splenda in it, sucralose? I think I looked at those before. I just don't do artificial sweeteners, but Crafty is hot here today. He sweated like a pig while walking so many electric lights. Yeah, I'm probably going to sweat like a pig here in a little bit, because I don't have all my steps in, and it's pretty toasty. And I'm sure on Friday I'm going to be sweating majorly. Like, I have no idea what that whole experience is going to be like. 100,000 steps. Okay. Trudy, I find on the weekends I am not consistent, need to be more accountable. Yeah, and that was another thing too, right? On keeping my cheat day, right, on Sunday, that helped in a lot of different ways, because for one, I could tell weekends, and I'm glad you said that, because I kind of forgot. The weekends were harder, okay? But having that cheat day on Sunday kept me consistent on Saturday, because I was like, okay, just one more day and I can eat whatever I want all day long. That was in the beginning. And then let's see, so that is what helped me to have that. I think I had another thought there, but I lost it. So Crafty Crafter, love those Fitbit badges. Oh yeah, hey, that 100,000 step badge is cool looking. It's got like a spaceman on it, I think. Your Fitbit messages you and accuses you of being an overachiever, which you find hilarious. Yeah, I love that little message, right? It's like, overachiever. Those are good to get. I love Fitbit, okay? My Fitbit, I know they mess up. They're expensive for what they are, and they mess up too easily, I think. But I have so much fun with mine. I get my money's worth out of my Fitbit, and I'm a cheapskate. Okay. Henrietta, you probably only eat about 800 calories a day, and I'm 66. Because of my tear on my knee, I cannot do exercise, but I'm hairdressing 3 days a week. But I never get hungry. It's almost like the fasting. It's almost, let's see. I don't know. I think your comment maybe got cut off. Maybe you were saying it's almost like the fasting makes it so that you're not hungry. Crafty Crafter, TDEE. I don't know what that stands for. So maybe you can help us out with that. Or maybe everybody can just Google it. Jennifer Bryan, doing very well during the week, doing 18-hour fast, shorter fast on the weekend sometimes. Oh, that's a good idea. Been on this 2 months, have not been exercising, do enjoy wine. Could that be a culprit? Okay, so Jennifer, I always allowed myself wine. And even, okay, so my sister owns a winery, Sweet Acre Farms Winery, if you ever want to get some awesome fruit wine. well, I go through periods where I have wine and I don't have wine on hand. It just kind of depends on, like if I've been by my sister's winery, we try to load up. But, so it's not like I can say every night I have a glass of wine. It's like there will be months where it's like, oh yeah, I had wine probably, several times a week. Maybe even once a night, one glass a night. And generally I found with my one meal, that was when it was easier. If I drank it with my meal, I didn't notice any weight differences either way, like whether I had it with my meal or if I just had a glass of wine with my husband after the kids were in bed, and I allowed myself that whenever those opportunities arose. But I never noticed it affected my weight. I did notice that it made me hungrier in my fasting window, though. Like, so I would, and even sometimes nausea a little bit when I would have the wine just by itself. If I had it with the meal, not so much. But I would say, Jennifer, now I can't remember how long you've been doing this. If you're tracking, are you tracking your daily weight? Are you averaging it? Just curious. You're 54. Let's see. Can't really eat much. So Henrietta, you could talk it over with your doctor first of all and talk about your specific calorie requirements and see, kind of their opinion. It's not something I've ever struggled with. I mean, calorie restriction. I can't comment on that point at which there's a calorie restriction is linked to longevity and stuff, but I don't know like what that point is, but talk it over with your doctor. Try using more butter. That's a fun solution, I think. Gotta eat less than 1,600 calories, but I get a lot of exercise, and my TDEE is 1,600. Okay, total daily energy something. Okay, how tolerate? Yeah, okay, so maybe Henrietta will answer. Okay, you used to be a food addict before. Now it's torched your appetite. Most people would think that's a good thing, but not if you're not able to eat enough. That's a bad thing. Okay, Crafty, you notice when you're full. Okay, yeah. So Mio does have fake sweetener, which a lot of people use it, and it's, to me, I don't do them just because I don't like them. Like, as far as the way they taste, and they also kind of mess with my stomach. I don't know. That's just something I don't want to give too much information, but they mess with my stomach. Okay. Yeah, so weekends are harder. Because that's the thing, right? Usually that's when you're going to go to the the different events, like family get-togethers. A lot of times, that was one reason that Sunday worked so well, because I would have, if this had been different, I would have changed it. Like, Sunday was breakfast, the pancake breakfast, and also generally the day, if we were going to get together with my husband's in-laws, let's say, or not my husband's in-laws, that'd be my parents, my husband's side of the family, they would generally do the thing on Sunday afternoon. Like, if it was going to be an afternoon thing, it would generally be on Sunday, because we always took Sundays off of work, so they knew that would always work for us, whereas Saturdays we work. And then, but had it been different, I would have probably just said, okay, Saturday will be the pancake breakfast, and when I'll do it, just because I was just trying to make it easy on myself. That's what I'm trying to always do, make it really easy. Okay. Joni, you've lost 7.4 pounds since starting July 30th. That is awesome. I'm glad I helped you. And you've had some cheap weekends too. That is awesome. 7.4 pounds. That is a great pace of weight loss too. That is, you're just gonna keep trucking right along. I don't know what your goal is, but that's awesome. Jasmine, hi there, Jasmine. Crafty, yeah. You find that the Fitbit helps you to lose, right? Yeah. It kept me motivated to walk, especially in the beginning. Now I've done it without a Fitbit now before and been very consistent with steps, but yeah, it gave me that little boost of like, okay, yeah, got to keep walking, got to get those steps in, got to, earn those badges, and it helps, I think. Jasmine, you asked, can you lose a lot of weight doing intermittent fasting without working out? People have. I'll say that. I like exercise because it keeps me feeling really, really good. But not everybody has that time, or I feel like if you're going to do one side of the equation, I think there's like two sides of it, right? There's the eating and there's the exercise. If you got to do one, I say change the eating. That's been my experience, that's when the scale starts to move. And Jasmine, yeah, there have been people in the comments section that talk in my videos about like they're not doing any exercise, but they are losing a lot of weight with OMAD, especially, but intermittent fasting too. Total daily energy expenditure, that's TDEE. Okay, so you've learned you can have a cheat meal but not a cheat day because I gained so easy that it gains the weight. I lost that weight back. Yeah, overall, what I found for me is generally the weight's going to bubble up on Monday and Tuesday, but then by Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, it's down. So it's like a little increase in weight, but by the time the week's over, overall, it's still a downward trend of the 7-day average. But yeah, whatever works for you, Leanne. Let's see, Jennifer, I do drink it with my meal. Oh, okay, so you're not even having that in your fasting window, which, that's cool either way, I think. Crafty, keep your energy is, mine is 16, okay. Henrietta, hey, we're the same height. Okay. Makes me, yeah, crafty, so not keen on a whole cheat day, makes you apprehensive that I could backslide. Yeah, I get that. I like it, again, because, well, it's funny because most people are like, isn't it like every day you're having a cheat meal? And it's like, yeah, because I don't do any restrictions on calories or food types or anything like that. So, yeah, so y'all are doing it harder than I'm doing it, but, so yeah, but the idea of being like afraid that it's going to make you backslide, right? And I think what you mean is like if you give yourself a whole day to cheat, then that next day, how are you going to get back on plan? And I think this the video that I just published, that's pretty much what I talked about. Like cheat day has been my weekly practice of going off plan, going not fasting for a day and then getting right back on it on Monday. And so I had a lot of fear at first, like when I went on vacation one time in 2016, that was the first time, because I've been super consistent that year of being right on plan, and there was going to be several days there in a row where I was off plan, and I was terrified I would never go back to intermittent fasting. I thought, well, this is it. This is just going to be the thing. And when I reminded myself, no, you go off plan, like you do this every Sunday, you are taking the whole day to just eat what you want to eat, and however much and however many times. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, so really it's no different than any other Monday. When I get back home, I'm just going to go right back on plan. That's what I did. Okay, Jennifer, okay, you weigh every day. Yeah, that's great. And are you tracking your average, I wonder? Your 7-day average? You don't have to, but it helps me, it helps keep me sane and really be able to see how the weight is trending over, 6 weeks or so. Let's see, scale goes up one day and down a couple, yeah. So Jennifer, that's why I like to do the 7-day average, because it averages out, because mine will go, gosh, up 2 pounds, and it'll be down 2 pounds, and be up, and it's down, and and it's really hard to know just by looking at those numbers, like, what's going on? But when I really start to look at the 7-day average, that's when it's like, oh, it is going down. Okay. Let's see, drinking salt and potassium without something to mask it is too disgusting for you. Okay, oh yeah, I would imagine. I've never tried potassium in the water, salt, or salt, actually. I mean, I know that Gatorade and stuff has sodium in them, and I think, but interesting, yeah. So the Mio helps that be more drinkable. And I'm assuming you're doing that because that'll help you feel better, like you feel better when you're fasting if you have salt and potassium in your water. Henrietta, I'm sorry. Hopefully we're not making you feel uncomfortable. You don't have to answer if you feel uncomfortable. Okay. Okay, so that said, I can't do cheat days. Vegetables, oils, and sugar is highly inflammatory. Yeah, that's, if that's what works for you, that's what works for you. Let's see. So, all right. Crafty, you're trying to help out Henrietta there. That's awesome. Okay, so, all right, wow, we've been live for almost an hour and a half. So thank you guys very much. I hope you'll join me on Friday. I will be going live several times throughout the day to update you guys on how many steps I'm getting. 100,000 is my goal. I'm going to start at about 4 a.m. So we'll see. Hopefully we can get that well dug for those orphans and widows in Jezza, Uganda. Check out Kinship United if you have any questions about what that actually that organization. If you have any questions about that organization, because I know it's hard to give your money to an organization you don't know what are they really going to do with this money. I've been donating to them for years. They're an awesome organization. Love them, love them, love them. Love all of you guys. You're so awesome. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it. I hope this was helpful for all you guys. Man, an hour and 30 minutes. This is awesome. Anyway, you guys are wonderful. I love you all. Thanks for joining me. Be back again next week. Well, I'll be here on Friday several times throughout the day, and then also on next Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. Okay. So, all right. Yeah, Green Eyed Bandit, they're a lot of fun. All right, I'll see you guys later.